Games should be fun, and Chasm, my upcoming dungeon crawler, is not, so I need to change that. But you can't make a game fun without knowing why it's not fun, so I took a wild guess. I think that the problem is immersion in environment. When I play, I don't feel like part of the game world, and everything is boring. And obviously the solution to every game dev problem is particles, so I added some dust particles to the running animation. I made them line up with each footstep to make them feel real, and I disabled them when stuck in spiderwebs. I might need to make them smaller, but other than that, I think they're pretty great. Another thing that fixes immersion is sound. The main sound effect that's missing is the one for the ground pound. A silent ground pound has no impact and it doesn't feel like you actually did anything. So I searched for hours, and that's not an exaggeration, I searched for hours looking for one. I never found one, so I edited an explosion effect I already had to create a ground pound effect. I think it sounds pretty good and it adds a ton of environment. I then continued working towards my goal of adding an additional 100 rooms to the levels, but I only got 2 done before I definitely didn't quit to play Minecraft with Kernel Turtle instead. I then noticed that you can only use the ground pound once every level instead of every 30 seconds, which is a big problem. I tried to fix it, and instead I accidentally changed it to have no delay between uses. I tried again, and this time it worked, which is exceptionally rare. I then had your local Chris playtest for a while, and he gave me some valuable feedback. I also noticed 2 things. There's no way to quit a level, and there's no way anyone will beat level 4 without 5,000 tries. Luckily, that actually adds playtime to the game, so I'll keep it, definitely. I added a quit function really quickly, and contrary to what this graph says, it worked first try. Your local Chris also discovered a bug, no, let's call it a hidden feature, that allows the sword to go through the walls and kill enemies through walls. I actually intentionally let this stay, because I felt like giving the player a bit more power over death. I worked on adding, once again, a lot more props to the levels because they still felt a bit empty and I wanted them to feel really jam-packed with stuff. I also actually watched a few YouTube videos of people going through caves to see how they would actually look, and I took inspiration from that to add new stuff. Kernel Turtle and Flying Zucchini had an idea to add crystal props to the game, and they would just give out light and get in the way, and not really do anything else, but I think they would look pretty good. Medcat34 created some story art with crystals, and Kernel Turtle created some of the art. Your local Chris and Flying Zucchini are also working on some. I also came up with some ideas for things that I could add to the game in the future and things that I needed to. I need to add an epilepsy warning because of the flashing lights when you use the flash ability, and I also want to change up the windscreen to allow you to go on to the next level, or at least just change up the button for the main menu to be a continue button so that I can automatically roll credits at the end of the first playthrough. This also meant that I needed to be able to save how many times someone had beaten each level, so I set that up, and it went pretty quickly because save files in Godot are fast and easy to create. Now, as if level 4 wasn't hard enough, I decided to improve the stone enemies, and not just slightly, I doubled their health. Now level 4 is borderline unbeatable now, which is great for playtime and terrible for enjoying the game. I also had some new lore on the rooms I added, and I improved level 4 a bit by adding a few more health potions scattered around the room to make it slightly easier to beat. But at this point I was late to making the devlog, so I quit working on the game and started writing the script. That's it for this devlog. If you enjoyed, please subscribe.